What's popping, guys? This is my 3-year transformation video. Before we get started, remember to drop a like, comment and subscribe for more fitness content. So just for context, I was always a hefty kid. Here's me in 2011 at 12 years old, looking like an absolute tank. I lost a lot of weight over the summer holidays by pretty much starving myself for 6 weeks, which I shouldn't have done, but as a kid I knew no better. I pretty much maintained being extremely skinny until I was 17, at which point I started gaining weight again. Here's me 18 years old, looking a bit heftier, and I started lifting every now and again, but at this point nothing too consistent. Then at 19 years old in 2018 I was peak mass, weighing in at around 202 pounds or 91.5 kilograms, around 5'8". I looked in the mirror and knew it was time to turn my life around, and here's where my 3-year transformation starts. I started training around 3 times a week with the usual bro split, and you can see from these pictures I did manage to lose a little weight, but it wasn't enough. So I started including cardio in the form of skipping, as after a quick Google search I found out it's one of the best ways to burn the most calories, and I started to shed the pounds a lot faster. If I were tracking how many calories I was consuming and how much I required, I would have lost weight a lot faster and more efficiently, but I didn't have the knowledge of calories in versus calories out at the time. I just ate less of the foods I was already eating. The only real muscle I noticed I had was the calves, from being overweight for so long. Fast forward to 2019, I was 175 pounds, so down around 30 pounds, and looking significantly better. Not much muscle mass as you can see, but a lot less fat and in significantly better shape. These pictures were from holiday. I've still got a lot of fat around the love handles, but relatively happy with the way I look. You can even see the traps peeking through my t-shirt. When I got back from this holiday, I decided I was going to absolutely smash the gym and fix my diet. So for 2 months, I was extremely strict, tracking calories and training 6 times a week, and I noticed the most improvement I'd seen in a long time. But then I started slacking again for a whole year, and this was my starting position in 2020. I was 160 pounds, and it was locked down at the time, so the gyms were closed, so the majority of my progress from this point was made using resistance bands with no access to the gym. Alright, from this point, I trained 6 times a week with the resistance bands, working my entire body 2 times a week, doing push-pull legs. I found it quite hard to train legs though, as I could only really do bodyweight squats, and the amount I needed to do, I was literally doing 5 minutes of constant squats, and it was just too much for me to handle. With the resistance bands, I trained for hypertrophy rather than strength, as previously I would have only have done as heavy as I could and no more than 5 reps, which could be why I didn't see much progress in the first couple of years of training. But after this point, I started focusing more on aesthetics rather than just strength alone, so a high rep range till failure, usually between 10 and 15. After 2 months, I was down to 155 pounds, looking much better. I decided to continue the cut during summer until I was lean, so I cut my calories down to 1,500 a day, which I don't recommend, it's too low for most people, but I just wanted to lose a lot of weight fast. Eating 150 grams of protein, and after another 2 months I was down to around 140 pounds, looking the best I'd ever looked until this point. I even started running for a month or so, but it looked like I was losing muscle mass, so I stopped. This is my physique in September 2020, around 145 pounds. After a few months of bulking, I got up to 155 pounds, whilst the gyms were open for a couple months, but then they were closed again, so I spent most of my time at maintenance calories, slowly recomping my body and working out at home until they reopened. Fast forward to December 2020, and I'm still around 155 pounds, looking significantly leaner, and here's a picture of me hitting a side tricep outside because the sun's out, guns out, and a video of me doing some pull-ups. As the gyms were opening soon, I took some pictures of my current physique as a starting point before I started to cut down for summer again and hitting the newly reopened gyms. Here's a standing relaxed, front double bicep, back double bicep. And the main thing I noticed about my current physique is my delts and my arms were looking relatively good. Legs not too bad considering I could barely train them at home. Here is what I looked like only 1 month after the gyms reopened. After this period, they remained open so I could train my body properly rather than just with resistance bands, and I noticed a significant improvement. So since summer was approaching, I decided to do my first proper cut. I did it really slowly so I could maintain as much muscle mass as possible. It took me around 5 months to drop down by 8.4 pounds to around 146 pounds. My calories were not as restrictive as last time. I was eating a more reasonable diet of around 2,500 calories, training 6 times a week with 30 minutes of skipping 7 days a week. I was able to eat a lot more than previously as I had added a significant amount of muscle mass. This physique is the leanest I've been ever, considering it's bad outdoor lighting. I think I still look pretty shredded here. If I were to estimate, I would say I was like 8 to 10% body fat. I was planning on cutting further, but I literally woke up one day and felt like a zombie, so I knew I had to start eating more food. After this point, summer was over, so I did a lean bulk for 3 months where I gained 7 pounds. These two pictures are me 2 months into my bulk at 151 pounds, looking even better than I was at the peak of my cut, looking kinda like a Greek statue in my opinion. I probably took my cut a bit too far, so this time I regained some of the lost muscles. Shortly after these pictures, I got COVID and I had to take 2 weeks off the gym. I managed to maintain my weight, but was a tiny bit higher body fat and was not working out during this time. When I recovered, I had lost not only some of my strength, but also my tan. As you can probably see in these pictures, which were taken 2 weeks after recovering, this is my current physique, and overall I'm pretty happy with it. Currently bulking for 3 months, and then cutting for 1, since I like to maintain a lean body type. I'm going to probably be doing this for the foreseeable future, and see how much mass I can add to my frame over the next few years. If you guys want to see a body transformation take place in real time, I'm currently doing a series called Gamer to Gainer, which I will link on screen right now. Taking my brother, who is underweight and has never lifted before in his life, and trying to help him to achieve a similar physique to mine over the next few years. The first episode is out now, and there will be a new one every month, so please make sure to check it out, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification to make sure not to miss it. As for what I did in regards to my diet, the best way to lose weight is to make sure you're in a calorie deficit and eating high volume, low calorie dense foods such as 0% Greek yogurt, fruit, vegetables, and making sure you're consuming enough protein as it makes you fuller for longer. But this doesn't mean you have to eat like a monk. You need to find something that works for you and you yourself find sustainable. For example, I usually eat 1 kilogram of 0% fat Greek yogurt a day and 1 kilo of fruit, and usually fill in the rest of my calories with random stuff as long as it fits in and I'm hitting my protein. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and either found some motivation from it or at least found it helpful. If you did, please make sure to drop a like and a comment. I'll make sure to reply to them all in case you have any questions. As always, please make sure to subscribe for more content. And again, I'll link on screen my Gamer to Gainer series where I transform my brother for those who want to see a body transformation take place in real time. I'll leave you with a compilation of my current lifts and physique. Thanks for watching.